let's review. So Glow, I'm gonna preface this with the fact that I'm on episode 6 of this series, but I got through the 6 episodes pretty fast. I've been binging, and I think this is a very binge-worthy show. I'll say it outright. But it stars Alison Brie as Ruth Wilder, Mark Maron as Sam Sylvia, Betty Gilpin as Debbie Aragon, Sidel Knoll as Cherry Bang. And this basically follows Ruth. She's an aspiring actress, basically in search of a strong female lead in a world that's basically man-oriented in that aspect. Set in 1985, LA, and it does a very good job at making that notice with the atmosphere and the overall tone. But basically, she can't find work. She's basically getting, called into these castings over and over again, just to show to the people inquiring for women who are unconventional and different, that why you should stay away from these women. But all of a sudden, when she feels out of her, down on her luck, she gets a phone call for unconventional women, and it's put out by a B movie, like sci-fi director, played by Mark Maron, and he is hired by a rich, spoiled layman, aspirer of the arts, to start Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And it's basically set out to be the foil of all the rage. The sport of wrestling was huge during that time for males, and they just wanted to cash in on it. And so really Ruth toils with the idea of wrestling. She's a very serious actress, or at least sees herself as this way. And she just sees wrestling as, putting on masks and dancing around a ring. But she's kind of ends up being obligated to stay in the ring, because one day her estranged best friend walks in and attacks her for having an affair with her husband. And this sparks a vision inside Sam's mind, as Debbie to be the star of the show, Debbie being the best friend and Ruth being the heel of the show. So Sam goes off and writes a script. It's very complex and very out there, abstract, and he attempts to add a narrative to Glow. But this doesn't really settle with the dilettante kind of funder Bash, played by Chris Lowell. So the script is basically trashed, and all the ladies, they are asked to dress up and embrace a stereotype, much like the males. It's very surface level. Whatever the audience sees, that's what they see. But the women, they're smarter than that. They see the oppressive and reductive nature to this treatment, but they sort of embrace themselves through it. And this series kind of surprises me with its kind of reinvents itself. It takes the carpet right underneath your feet sometimes. At first I was kind of worried that this could be kind of a Judd Apatow type surface level characters, kind of archetypical, character development, but it wasn't. It was very core and deep, fleshing out basically with every moment's opportunity. And I just really like the 80s style, kind of ambient and atmospheric. It really struck me as did Stranger Things did. Um, it's kind of looking through a nostalgic lens, but it's sewn together with that nostalgia and all the puzzle pieces around it. But at the core, there's a very the meat of the show is very unique and original. Once they step in that ring, it's something special, um, and it glows. uh, it's also sewn together with a very eclectic, commentary of the time period, um, as well as, um, you know, kind of uh, putting a perspective with the modern um, perspective as well. Looking through that lens, it was very unique and interesting, and it really didn't bang your head around it. It kind of went synonymous with the fictional characters that it developed. But this is a true story, which um, it was marketed as a porn you can watch with your family. Finally, um, which it's very unique in that way. It kind of sprinkles that surface level commentary with its original vibes and stuff, and um, it's very the tone is sort of like Nurse Jackie, which I believe was on Netflix. Um, I believe it's still on Netflix, but the tone really was reminiscent of it, and it happens to be that the creator of this was, or the creator of Nurse Jackie rather, was is producing this, I believe, yes, and the very diverse ensemble cast is kind of a call to um, one of the producers' shows, Orange is the New Black, um, and it's unique, and it finds moments to be endearing and a very stylistic tale, and world that it creates. Mark Maron um, is surrounded by a cast of poignant and dedicated group of women, but he knocks it out of the park as uh, a cigarette butt eating clumsy narcissistic director, basically on the back end of his career, um, and they all just come together with a very real and genuine feel to this. It's very free and fluid. Um, every scene just um, runs together very translucently, and I really can't recommend this series enough. If you enjoyed the nostalgic lens type feel of Stranger Things, and you want to find a new light and a new series that kind of embraces originality and the 80s, I would definitely point you this direction. And if I was to give it a grade, I would say B plus.